I went 44 years without knowing how to invest. And when I finally sat down to run the numbers on what that cost me, it made me sick. If you are a woman over 40 who hasn't started yet, I need you to stick with me because you need to see this before another year goes by. So let me take you back to where I was just a couple years ago. So in my 30s, I actually had a financial planner and this person invested money for me. But the thing about that is I didn't take my time to ask questions. I didn't understand what I was actually invested in. And I didn't learn the basics. I pretty much just trusted someone with my future. And then 2020 hit and I had to pull out the money because at that time I was unemployed. I wasn't able to travel around the world and do motivational speaking, which I was doing at that time. And so I needed the money. And unfortunately, I was not able to put the money back in until 2025 at the age of 44. And I finally sat down and educated myself last year. And when I did that, I realized how much time I had wasted. And it wasn't honestly because I was lazy. It was because no one taught me and I didn't take initiative to teach myself. And so what I can say is this: I went 44 years without hearing exactly what I needed to do. The message wasn't clear to me until today. So let me show you what not knowing actually costs, because when you see the real numbers, it actually hits different. So let's say that I started to invest at the age of 25 years old and I was investing $500 a month at an 8% return. By the time I'm 65 years old, I would have accumulated $1.74 million. Okay. And not only that, I would have only put in $240,000 of my own money. Compound interest would have done all of that other work for me. However, I did not do that. That boat has already sailed. So at $500 a month, starting at the age of 44, when I started, for the next 20 years with compound interest, then I would have accumulated around $295,000. With that, I would have only put in $120,000 of my own money, which means that my gains would have been around $175,000. So I'm sure you can already do the math and see. Investing 20 years later cost me $1.45 million. And that's not because I invested in the wrong thing. That was because I didn't invest in anything at all. And it literally makes me sick when I think about it. However, I can't look back. It actually motivates me to go hard from here. And going hard is exactly what I'm doing. So let me show you my actual plan. So I ended up moving my brokerage account from SoFi to Vanguard, and I'm investing in VTI. Now, VTI stands for Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund. And I'm investing in this with my Roth IRA, with my SEP, as well as my brokerage account. I want to keep it simple and consistent for now. I know that I can diversify later on, so I'm not really worried about that. Now, with VTI, I'm investing in one fund, but I'm hitting thousands of companies at once. So that is the beauty of that. Now, my goal is to max out my IRA, my Roth IRA, every single year. Now, because I'm 45 years old, I can max it out at $7,500 per year. Now, once I turn 50, I can actually have this catch-up contribution and I can max out at $8,600 per year. So that is my plan for my Roth IRA. Now, looking at my SEP IRA, this is for anyone who is self-employed. Now, because I'm self-employed, I can actually contribute 20% of my self-employment income. And I plan to do that every year. And that max is at $72,000. So again, now I have my first bucket, which is my Roth IRA. And then my second bucket, which is my SEP, and those are two completely different buckets. Now, my third bucket, of course, is my brokerage account. And the reason why I love this is because there is no limit. There's no cap. I can invest however much money I want per year as fast as I can. And to be honest, I love this because I can actually make a plan and set something up where it's automated and I can invest a certain amount every month. But anytime I get extra money coming in, I can then put even more towards that. And so the way I'm funding all three of my buckets consistently, the way I'm able to do that is because I have 7 different income streams. If I was relying on one stream of income, it would be impossible. I'm telling you right now, when you have multiple income streams, the reason why you're able to do this quickly and you can actually catch up is because if one stream dips, the other ones hold the line. And I love this because one month I can make $10,000, $20K and up. And I can put all of that into my brokerage account if I wanted to, because I'm in a position right now where this is what I'm focusing on full time. I don't have a lot of expenses. I've literally dropped my living expenses. I think it's like below 800 at this point. So I really have the ability to move quickly and put as much money into each of those buckets as I need. But I'm not trying to get cute with like stock picks or even index fund picks. I'm just trying to be consistent, and I'm not trying to time the market. I'm trying to put as much money as I can in the market and let it do the work for me. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Yes, I lost a potential gain of $1.45 million. That's real. But $295,000 with only $500 a month, that is life-changing money still. And here's the thing that I want to say. The worst thing that you can do is run the numbers, look at how much you have lost in the time that you've wasted, and let that paralyze you from moving forward. I want this to motivate you, because every single month that you wait is money that you're actually leaving on the table. And here's the thing that I learned when I got started with investing in index funds. You don't need a lot of money. I started with literally $40 a month, even less than $100. I put $100 in my high yield savings account per month, but I was investing $10, $20, another $20 here and there in different index funds. And now I've increased that to about, I think it's $200. I'm working my way up to about $500. But I have to say this, it's about getting started, because if you don't start with anything, you are then wasting time. And that compound interest is the thing that's going to be on your side, especially if you're starting late. So of course, the best time to start was 20 years ago, but we're not looking back. The second best time to start is today. I went 44 years without knowing any of this. And honestly, I'm not ashamed, because nobody taught me. I didn't ask, but you know what? Now I know, and I'm doing something about that. And I know I can't catch up. And I want to encourage you, because if you have multiple income streams like I do, you can start, like I said, with as little as $50, $100 a month. And those months when you have thousands of dollars that you can invest, you're now catching up on those months where you were only putting in 100 and 200. That's why I'm not worrying about the little bit that I'm doing now, because I know I'm going to have my big months where I can throw in tens of thousands of dollars in those accounts. This is why it's important just to get started. Get started with what you have right now. Pay off your debts, because that is one of the things that was holding me back for so long. I have one more debt that I'm going to clear this year, and that means everything is going to go towards retirement moving forward. If you need to do that, get started with that. If you haven't opened up a high yield savings account to start saving for an emergency fund, do that as well. The point is to get started. If this video showed you what waiting really has cost you, I want you to go ahead and drop a comment and tell me, when did you actually start investing? Did you start in your 30s? Were you lucky enough to start in your 20s? Are you just getting started now in your 40s or 50s? You guys have been commenting on my videos, and different individuals are sharing their different stories, and I am living for it. I'm loving it, because what it does is not only inspire me, but you are inspiring someone else who's reading those comments. And us as a community, we are uplifting and motivating and inspiring each other to do more than what we are currently doing. So I appreciate those who are actually engaging and being active as part of the community, because that really helps a lot. I'm going to be posting every single day for the next several weeks about starting over after 45 and catching up on retirement. Specifically, I'm focusing on retirement. I know I dabble in with, multiple income streams and paying off debt and credit score, but I really find it to be very important that this topic is something that I know people need. And so we are going to be continuing this for the next few weeks. So make sure you hit subscribe so you do not miss another video. And if you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. My name is Deepay Alaru, and this was your Daily Dose with Deepay. Until next time, I want to wish each and every one of you a beautiful and blessed day.